And hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart Vine and welcome to episode 8 of my modern day WWE save on TW 2020. Obviously we're here, we've finally done it. This is my Royal Rumble 2022 show. It's all been, I think it's built up quite well. It's obviously going to be, obviously day one was kind of just a rehash of what happened, just a little bit of tweaks. This is full on a completely different show from the one we got at Royal Rumble this year. So it's totally going to be new. We've got both the women's and men's Royal Rumble matches, of course. We have Becky Lynch defending her Raw Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. We've got Cesaro finally going after Roman Reigns at Universal title. We have Finn Balor going after Bobby Lashley for that WWE Championship, and we even have I changed it a little bit, but we have improv kind of RK Bell's gone against the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin for them Raw Tag Team Championships with a little bit of a twist. Obviously I won't spoil what change I made, but obviously it's a mistake on my part and I've admitted it in the video, so hopefully you enjoy that. So big matches happening, one or two winners that I think you guys will be happy with, that I think we should have done in real life. Yes, obviously with all that, so enough for me to say it around. Before we dive straight into that show, please like and subscribe. Really happy with the response of the series so far, as always. Really enjoying doing this, really brings out my creative side of wrestling booking. It's always fun. So please like and subscribe, please comment as well. So let's see if we can try and get some let anyone know about the series, because I'm really enjoying it. So hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it too. So enough of me talking about this, let's go dive straight into this show. So yes, this is my rebooking of Royal Rumble 2022. So yeah, let's get going. Let's start. So we start off the Royal Rumble at the pre-show. Obviously, this is the kind of thing I wanted to set up early on, because obviously you didn't have a pre-show last time, but it can be good for useful story going into the main show. Yeah, so we start off with obviously Happy Corbin and Ricochet. Obviously it's 45, pretty good for them. Basically it's Happy Corbin I like the idea of basically them. Was Happy Corbin going around trying to get people to give his spot, because obviously on the Go Home show he lost all that money he got from Sami Zayn. So, and obviously I'm assuming he's got a bet or someone saying you need to be in the Royal Rumble because we've got money on you being in it, and if you're not in it, that's not good for you, because obviously that means more money you owe us. Type situations. Obviously goes to Ricochet. Ricochet's being asked about what his thoughts about the Royal Rumble as he's in it, gets attacked by Happy Corbin and then breaks it down, and Ricochet's Happy Corbin's like, I need to be in the Royal Rumble, and he's like, Ricochet's obviously attacking him, he's like, you know what, why not, but you have to face me in a match, and if you beat me you get my spot, if you don't then you're not in it. So weird way to set it up, but I just think it's a nice idea that the pre-show kind of sets up the idea that sets up something to do with the Royal Rumble, because I think that just makes sense. Instead of just having a random match, this has a bit of purpose. So obviously that means sets up for the next pre-show match. Obviously it's going to be Ricochet versus Happy Corbin, with Ricochet's Royal Rumble spot on the line. So is Happy Corbin going to get his wish and find his way into the Royal Rumble, or is Ricochet just going to prove how amazing he is and keep his spot in the Royal Rumble? And the answer to that question is, of course, Ricochet wins with exactly what I've put. He's hit a roll up, but I like that. 630 senton makes sense to me. Both getting 45s, both considering a 46. Very good here. Very decent pre-show match. Obviously, so that means Happy Corbin is not in the Royal Rumble. Or is he? He might be later. We'll find out later on. But Ricochet is still in the Royal Rumble. So kind of sets up the main show very nicely. So this is an interesting one, because obviously now we're going to go to the main show. But we're going to start off with the Women's Royal Rumble match. As I always like doing, it's like the idea that the men or women's and men's always start and finish the show. Makes sense, because obviously they take a long time. So, so obviously we're going into it thinking we've got a lot of people that could win it. We've got Liz Morgan's been saying she wants to win it. We've got Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler. All these kind of women talking about they want to win the Royal Rumble. So it'd be interesting to see who I've picked to get the win here. So a lot of stuff. When we got, obviously we'll go into it when after I decide to declare who the winner is. But I've got a lot of talking points to go through. The stories we'll go through them. But before that, we also find who is going to win the 2022 Royal Rumble Women's Royal Rumble match. A lot of candidates, a lot of candidates to pick, but this one made sense. So, the winner of the Royal Rumble 2022, Women's Royal Rumble 2022 is Bianca Belair for 42. Yes, I know I went for the obvious choice. She should have probably won it this year, but they went for Ronda Rousey. It's fine. Yes, obviously it's a 50-minute match. As you can see, Doudrop and Naomi are the ones that put off their game. I put 20 women, so one because there's only 18, 19, 20 women in the whole company, and also might have been able to figure it out, but I just want to get away. I'm not quite sure how to add more people from guest spots, so it's going to be like that. But 42 for all these women, that's pretty good for what you expect from the all the people involved. But yeah, the stories going in. I decided to put in this match was you had Liz Morgan in this match showing how good she is, how much she's improved. You got Bianca Belair, her desire to win all the time, finding a way to keep into this match. You've got obviously a little nippet with Nikki Cross, trying to save her friend in the match, or trying to or eliminate her, trying to snap out all the problems she's got. You've got Sasha Banks doing well, especially with the bad arm that was broken by Shayna Baszler. You got Baszler looking very dominant, also working on the arm of Sasha Banks. You had Naomi looking good. But the idea, I put the final four here. I put Bianca Belair, Liz Morgan, Sasha Banks, and Shayna Baszler. I know it's only but it's basically one heel, rest of faces, but that's fine. You can get away with that. The Royal Rumble dynamics work differently in that. But but the finish I want to go for is Shayna Baszler working on Sasha Banks' arm that she broke last week, and then Sasha Banks finds a way to eliminate Shayna Baszler and Liz Morgan as well at the same time. Obviously, Liz Morgan lasted to the final four, so she looks great here. But the final two is going to be Banks and Bianca Belair. Kind of fitting that obviously last year's WrestleMania main event between night one between Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks makes sense that it would be here. Great fight between these two, find a way onto the apron, and basically Bianca Belair finds a way to I think I'm got maybe on the top of her head, uses her hairs to whip Sasha Banks her, and then kind of kicks her off the apron, and Bianca Belair gets the win and is your Women's Royal Rumble 2022 winner. Probably should have won it in real life, so in my save, she has won it. So obviously after that, we have a situation of she's celebrating in the ring, she's looking around, she's pointing to the sign as you expect, but gets a surprise person at the top of the ramp. It is the Raw Women's Champion at the moment, possibly Becky Lynch, at the top, kind of gesturing, kind of holding the title up high. I know with Royal Rumble winners they usually do a tease, well, will they, won't they go for both? But I think I would like it to be a bit refreshing that it's pretty obvious where this is going early on, so we can start putting some interesting storylines. It's pretty obvious if Bianca Belair was going to win, she was going to go after Becky. It was kind of a whole point of her story, so it's no point beating around the bush. Will she go for Charlotte if she wins, blah blah blah. Let's not do that stuff. That's to stick it. So yes, it's obvious she's going against, but obviously she hasn't said it yet, but it's obvious, so that could possibly be set up for the WrestleMania match at WrestleMania, or it depends if Becky keeps that title later on in the night, and if she does she keep it into WrestleMania? We'll find out. But yeah, 41 there, a good 40 there, 55 there. Great, really solid start here. So obviously after that we hear from the number one contender for the WWE Championship in Finn Balor, talking about how everyone's going to see tonight is going to show why he's the best wrestler in his company. And he's going to finally show, he's going to start his legacy, finally begin his legacy in this company. It's been people holding him back, or people taking it, you know what I mean. Like Finn Balor has never really, his legacy is in other companies and other things, and not in WWE. So it's going to start tonight. So obviously that's what he said there. 50-50 there for good stuff by Finn. But again, very solid here. Very solid show. I think last two shows in this one, Finn finally getting the groove of the game a little bit. But yeah, saying the best friend of the company. He has had setbacks, but WWE is something he craves, he needs. And tonight, my legacy in this company is going to be about to begin. Basically what it is. So the question is going into that. Obviously that means that the WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor is going to be next. So the question is Bobby Lashley going to have a very short title reign? Or is Finn Balor finally going to win the big one on the road to WrestleMania? We'll find out now. So the question is, are we going to have a new champion or not? And the answer to that question is... no, we're not. Bobby Lashley's going to win with a submission of the Hurt Lock, divided by the Hurt Business. Yeah, obviously I could have gone for Finn to win here, but it makes no sense at the moment. I always like when you have these kind of moments when the champions or like people that have had a downward spine have to work their way up. I don't want it to be as too short, so if Finn's going to win the big one, it's got to be built up. So that's what I'm hopefully try and do for 46 here, 56, 44. I would say expect a little bit better, but I said it's a bit too long. Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's fine here. But obviously it ends with ends here with obviously the Hurt Business distracting the ref. We've got Bobby Lashley hitting ref. Yeah, so basically distracts the ref, pushes Ren into Bobby Lashley that hits a Hurt Lock. He's already out at this point. I said hits him with the title belt maybe, yeah. So he's out, so he puts the Hurt Lock, turns around, and obviously he's already out, so the ref calls the match. So yeah, so Stu W champion. A bit too long, 46. I expect a little bit better, but that's fine. So obviously after that, obviously you got Hurt Business outside the ring for 47, but it's not good web script, that's fine. But I should drop improv. Okay, this is all good. It's starting to be really good. Have been celebrating. They've won the lottery, like they've won it. Oh, we finally beat Finn, and Finn's like, this is not over. So, and obviously that picture we got there is a man that's actually how your face will look in this situation. He's not happy, and it might be a bad idea that they've antagonised the Prince, Finn Balor. So we'll find out where that goes. Maybe it starts food. We don't know. But obviously after that, we hear from talking about someone that is also not so happy. Is obviously let's hear from Happy Corbin. Obviously talking to Madcap Moss, he's been trying to convince people, obviously lost that match in the pre-show, to try and get into the Royal Rumble. He needs to get into the Royal Rumble match. But obviously he goes to his friend, trying to convince him, plead to him, to give him his spot for the Royal Rumble match. For 43, very good actually. Normally these don't do as well. But I think Happy Corbin is starting to get into his element here, that I kind of like. But we'll criticise Happy Corbin. We all do. But I think the best story he ever had was when he was Sarah Corbin, because it had a bit more. It felt more of less of a caricature than actually a person. So I kind of liked it. So that's why I'm going with the story here. But I like the idea that obviously, yeah, he's trying to convince Moss, and Moss, as a good friend that he is basically like, okay, you can have my spot. And obviously, so that means playing the waterworks and that kind of stuff. He went full on for this one, and then basically Corbin's like, okay, you can have my spot. So Happy Corbin's in. The question is always you're asking yourself is, why does he need to be in it so bad? Who does he owe money to? What's the whole situation going on there? So was it to win the Royal Rumble or just be in it? Because you know how betting works. So we'll find out soon enough, maybe in the next couple of weeks, but we will find out. So yes, Happy Corbin's in. Let's see what he can do in the Royal Rumble later on in the night. But obviously, from talking about the Royal Rumble, from hearing from a former Royal Rumble winner in Randy Orton with his obviously partner Matt Riddle, talking about their big title match and tonight against the Hurt Business, and there's going to be a little bit of changes to it. So we'll find out there. So that'd be a 55. Very good here. The crowd are really up for this one. Yes, obviously this is kind of a mess up on my part. So I've kind of, instead of kind of just changing it, I'm going to admit it that, yes, when I set up that no DQ match on the Go Home Raw, I kind of said it, but then kind of realised that you can't have a situation where it's a no DQ match, but then obviously have that he's banned from ringside. If he does, then no, it'd be disqualified. It doesn't work. It was one of those things where I thought on the fly, but then didn't think it was a good idea. So the practicality just might not be hard to do in the game in real life, but again, this is why it's fantasy booking. We've obviously got Arcade talking about how they've seen what they've done, and that they think the no DQ stipulation will not be enough to stop them. Bobby Lashley from getting involved in their match. So what they have done is they've talked to management, and they obviously before the show started, and they said they're going to change their match, and the match they're going to have tonight is not a no DQ match. It's going to be a cage match. Yes, we're going to do a cage match. I should have said that in the first place, but again, the beautiful thing about it, I admit it, I like the idea that they've kind of like changed their mind because of circumstances that they see. Makes them a little more smarter as well. And also it's another smarter way to stop Bobby Lashley from getting into the match tonight. So because they're smart, they know they're probably going to be outnumbered because of Hurt Business, but it's the way it is. So the question is, yes, will this stipulation help RK Bro to retain their titles, or will the Hurt Business find a way to get the victory and get the tag titles and have all the gold? So the answer to that question is, for a 53, yes, RK Bro are still your WWE Raw SmackDown Raw Tag Team Championships, I might say. Sorry about that. But yeah, for a 53, this is a good storyline here. Obviously, it seems like, as always, Randy Orton getting the bigger score with a 62. Lowest score was always Shelton Benjamin. It's kind of disappointing, but yeah, good stuff here. Obviously, it's a short match, 40 minute match. Good cage match, as you expect. A lot of using the cage as a weapon, a lot of stuff from the top. Obviously, we got stuff like Riddle, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton. You're going to have some interesting, cool spots. But I like the idea that, obviously, I was tempted to kind of do a match where it's similar to the old rules, where it's like you both got a escape. But yeah, actually, one thing I might do that was, so basically it's going to be, I think Riddle, Shelton Benjamin escapes, Riddle escapes, and the final two is like Cedric Alexander and Randy Orton fighting it. You got obviously Cedric Alexander climbing up to the top of the cage, and they're trying to get out, and they're trying to pull him over the cage. You know, they're almost there. He's almost won. Randy Orton catches him and finds a way to hit an RKO off the top rope on Cedric Alexander, and obviously we forget his escape, but you also get pinfalls. And yes, obviously it's the RKO at no F on the top and gets the win. So yeah, so valiant effort, but the cage match stipulation looks like it worked for RK Bro. So it'll be interesting to see what they've Hurt Business having a creative way to see if they can finally win those tag titles. But yeah, no title changes so far tonight. So yeah, so 53, very happy with that. So after that, we hear from a potential winner of the Royal Rumble in Big E. Obviously, he's had some tough times recently, obviously with the whole losing his confidence thing, and obviously he gets a nice little reunion with some old friends with the New Day for 60. Excellent. That's probably a good score we expect from these three. But yes, obviously I kind of like the idea that Big E, he's confident a little bit, but he's still nervous because obviously he still doesn't kind of truly believe in himself a little bit. He's still a bit nervous, that kind of stuff, because obviously it's the biggest. He's never had this kind of pressure on his back, because obviously this is a make or break as well. He needs to win the Royal Rumble, because I think he knows that if he has this setback, another one, I don't think he'll be able to recover from it. So this is a huge moment for him. So obviously then you got his Kofi and Woods come in, kind of try and cheer up their friend, and he's really happy seeing them, and kind of just saying, we believe in you. This crowd believes in you. Everyone believes in you. Remember, the power of positivity. It's still there. It still helps you rise above anything in this world. And if you have positivity, you can achieve anything. And we believe in you, and we're behind you 100%. And yeah, and you need to. And tonight you're going to show why you're one of the best wrestlers in this company and the world. And you're going to. And we know it. The crowd know it. And hopefully by tonight you will know it. And yeah, so that kind of pumps up Big E, like having his friends kind of support him. Edge, it kind of works in a little bit, but it's the New Day, the best friends, kind of works. So yes, obviously that's interesting to see, will that be enough for him to win the Royal Rumble, or maybe not. Maybe it's not enough and his demons will come up to bite him in the ass type situations. But obviously after that we hear from Rhea Ripley talking about her big match against Becky Lynch for the WWE Royal Women's Championship. Next for a 47, not so great again. I've got to remember to stop using Patrick Buckwood, because when I have, it's not. I've got to remember to not use him on women's or just in general. I will eventually get to that. That eventually will click in my mind. But yes, obviously this is kind of like Rhea Ripley talking about how Becky thinks she's unstoppable. She thinks, but she doesn't know this is a new era of women's wrestling in WWE. And they like to, respect here. They like to thank. She likes to thank what Becky did for this company. But this is a new era. And this new era starts tonight. And this era is going to be the era of brutality. Obviously with Rhea Ripley's song. So yeah, she's confident going into this match that she's going to dethrone Becky Lynch. And we're going to have a new Raw Women's Champion. But we'll find out. Well, right now we'll find out. Will Becky Lynch get the win and still become Raw Women's Champion? Obviously, we saw earlier in the night, obviously with the back and forth between Bianca Belair. We've said it in Raw before. Bianca Belair wants Becky Lynch, but she still wants the title a little bit more, so it doesn't matter who she faces. But so Rhea Ripley win. Will she go to WrestleMania? Or will Becky Lynch keep her title and still keep her title? And so I don't know what more to say. So who's going to win? So we're going to find out. So we're going to have a new champion, or it's a champion gone to retain. And the answer to that question is 450. Becky Lynch is still your Raw Women's Champion. It says a submission here, but I've put that it's cheating with using the holding the ropes with a pin attempt to get the win. A 55 there, 40 there by Rhea Ripley. 50. It's round about fair. 50. Very good score there. But yes, obviously that's how kind of holding the ropes type situation. But I like the others. They put everything, they hit all their finishes, even Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide. Becky Lynch puts her foot on the bottom rope. But so it's cheating here, obviously. Decent, good, it's just an all-round just decent match. It's what you expect from the Royal Rumble. So obviously after that, we obviously that confirms that Becky Lynch is still your Raw Women's Champion, but Bianca Belair is now making it perfectly clear we kind of know, but this is kind of the signal that it's perfectly clear who she wants to face at WrestleMania, and that is Becky Lynch. For 56, good there. This has got potential to be one of the better feuds we're going to go for going into the Royal Rumble. As I said earlier on, I don't want this to be a thing where will she choose. I like it when the fans know it's obvious who it's going to be. So so obviously it's going to be a situation. I like the idea that she's happy. She goes into the ramp's behind her. Bianca Belair walks down. She turns around face to face, and she, taps on her title, saying that's going to be mine soon. And then she points to the sign. Got to do the points of the sign. It's WrestleMania. Roll to WrestleMania, people. You got to do it. But and so it's obvious where this match is going. So so it's no beat around the bush here. So we're interested. It gives me options, so I can got 4 weeks to build up a really intense, really awesome match. So so obviously after that we hear from the Tribal Chief, of course, Roman Reigns, talking about his match against Cesaro. That has had some choice words to Roman Reigns the last couple of weeks. For a 60, very good there by the Tribal Chief. No surprise there. So obviously him they're asking, do you fear Cesaro? And it's kind of a situation he said a lot of things the last couple of weeks. I think it's time to put him down. He forgets that I took down two legends in this business, and pinned them, stacked them up one by one to beat them at WrestleMania last year. And he thinks, just because a couple of choice words and a bit of he's confident, that now he's going to take this title that I've worked so hard to keep and build and make SmackDown the A show in this company. He has got another thing coming. What he said about me is disrespecting my family. So he's going to pay for those tonight. And then tonight I'm going to show him, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show this wrestling community why I am the best thing going in wrestling right now. And this is my company. And if you want to take this title from me, it's going to take something truly special to take this title from me. That kind of sets up for the next match very well. Obviously, the next match is going to be Roman Reigns versus Cesaro for the WWE Universal Championship. So the question is, can Cesaro produce something special and win the Universal title, the world title that has eluded him so many years, or Roman Reigns' historic reign as Universal Champion continue and go into the WrestleMania season? And the answer to that question is a 44. Very, very, very disappointing there. For 44, 41, 60. I was expecting at least a 50, but a little disappointed there. Maybe because it was a bit too long. Yeah, I have to remember that. Maybe a bit of burnout might be a situation. I forget that's a thing in this game. So probably because of Royal Rumble, I keep forgetting you've got to make shorter matches. 18 minutes for a match. I would think it would have been good, but it's fine. It's put a guillotine choke, but I've put another distracting finish by the Usos. If you're going to do Roman Reigns, got to protect Cesaro because I don't want him to lose clean. Because I want to keep him strong. But it's kind of if he hits the swing. hits the neutralizer. Roman hits a couple of spears, Superman punches. You know how these matches go. But yeah, and then after that, the Usos come in to distract. Roman hits a low blow on Cesaro and then hits a spear, another spear for the win. Yeah, and obviously Cesaro looks pissed at the end of the match. I know it's similar finish to the WWE Championship match, but I just don't want these two to really, look weak. I know you can have great matches but Cesaro and Finn Balor have had so many backward steps when it comes to these matches that I want them to look strong coming out of it. So it's not a situation of they've lost and they're going to go back to the mid card. Now it's going to be this momentum that's going to continuously grow and grow and grow until eventually something cool happens. That I've got big plans for both Cesaro and Finn Balor, so just wait and see for that one. But obviously after that we hear from another potential winner of the Royal Rumble in two potential winners in AJ Styles and last year's winner Edge. And talking about AJ Styles talking about how he's more focused and he really wants to win that title. That has eluded him in a way, the Royal Rumble, winning the Royal Rumble. But then Edge comes out saying he's heard about where they're going to stack up in the match, where they're going to start. And I don't think AJ's pretty happy with this. Obviously for a 64, very good here, no surprise, Edge, AJ. Awesome stuff here. But yeah, it's talking about he wants to win the Rumble. And then Edge comes in saying, I've just heard that we're up first. You, me, we're starting this Royal Rumble together. AJ's kind of he understands that it's only two people have really won the Royal Rumble, 2 or 3 that have won the Royal Rumble from the number 1 spot. So he's he knows that it's just got a lot harder. And maybe he's asking Edge, has Edge got some sway there? Maybe. We don't know. Maybe that might be a story. But it kind of sets up for, yes, the main event. As always with Royal Rumbles, the Royal Rumble, men's Royal Rumble, as you expect. So we've got a lot of contenders. We've got Drew McIntyre. We've got Seth Rollins. We've got Kevin Owens. We've got Big E. We've got Sheamus, if you want to be a dark horse. You've got so many great wrestlers in there. Nakamura's also in there. The question, hopefully I've built it up well enough that there actually are potential candidates who's going to win here. Not like the Royal Rumble in real life, where it's basically you knew Brock was going to win. It's pretty obvious. Nobody else looked like they're even close. Hopefully it's a bit more in the sense of that. Just to point out here, Brock's not in this match. Thought it'd be good. He doesn't need to be. I want to keep that stipulation of him being suspended alive for at least a little bit, a couple of weeks more. So so just let that sink in. We'll find out about that in the next couple of weeks. But so that obviously it's not beat around the bush here. Who's going to win? Who's going to be the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble winner and go and face whoever, the WWE or Universal Champion at WrestleMania? It's a tough one. I actually changed this a couple of times actually. It's been a tough choice, but this person I've picked, I think, is the obvious pick. And I think for the story that I've been trying to go for, I think it's the pick that makes the most sense. And obviously, if you know enough, you know where this is going. The winner of the Men's Royal Rumble 2022 is Big E for 51. Very good there. Yes, I did it. I did basically done what it should have been. I like the idea that Montez Ford and I can't pronounce that name. It's done really well here. Starting off a lot of storylines here that I like. But yeah, Big E has to be win. I've built up the confidence building. Obviously set up very nicely with the New Day saying you can believe in you. He's had a bad run, but it's slowly starting. I was tempted to not let him win it because let the story last longer, but sometimes it just makes sense to give the people what they want. And in real life, if the story went the way I want it to be, Big E would be so sympathetic that you would want him to succeed. So if he wins the Royal Rumble, if he was in, if he didn't win it, everyone would be a little bit disappointed. They put the final 4 here of the randomers, but I put it absolutely my fault, kind of putting who it actually is. But the final 4 I've put is obviously the final 4 is going to be like Big E, AJ Styles, Drew, and Sheamus. I know Sheamus, but had to put 2 SmackDown, 2 Raw, because obviously in the women's it kind of didn't do it that way. But yeah, that's final 4. But the stories going into this is obviously you've got Seth Rollins and KO working together, but how long will that last? The situation that Dominic eliminated KO helped. Obviously he's not in the match, but he helped, so that sets up a feud there. AJ and Edge having a bit of situation. I think AJ kind of eliminated Edge later on. I think final 5, it kind of put out the basically every man for himself. Respect each other, but I need this more. So obviously Edge is not winning it this year. Obviously, I like the idea Big E maybe slowly gets into the match, but he gets the most eliminations and kind of the more confidence he does. Obviously, you got the Priest getting a bit of revenge on the Miz, kind of sets up for their US title feud. I like the idea that Drew Gulak is kind of helping, we can see, for the match to kind of show, not tell, that they're good together as partners. So that'd be cool. You got Sheamus trying to eliminate Drew most of the match when he comes into it, but Drew gets the elimination there. Obviously, Sami Zayn comes out and helps eliminate Nakamura, sets up their feud. You know, he's not on it, but Nakamura's definitely not winning it. But yeah, the final 4. So obviously we've got ends with kind of Drew taking out Sheamus. Then obviously Big E find a way to take out AJ. Huge elimination for Big E. So the final 2 is going to be Drew and Big E. 2 of the biggest stars that we're going to try and build up, and I hope should be the biggest stars of the company so far. Big Who fight emerges, and then just Big E just finds a way to hit a clothesline, eliminates Drew, or chucks Drew out. And Big E gets the win, and I like the idea that maybe afterwards, just after it, you got Big E celebrating, and then you got Drew just fist pumping him to say, "I respect you for that," and very, very good. So yeah, and obviously after that, it's a huge celebration. Big E is absolutely like, oh my god, I can't believe I've just done this. And obviously the New Day come down for 65, very good end to the show, very good score. Yes, and obviously just a simple thing here. This one I might tease who is going to go after. Would be a good idea. Biggie celebrates. New Day come out, very happy, put him on his shoulder, and it's just basically, well, as you expect, fireworks going off, confetti, holding him up on his shoulders, him pointing to the WrestleMania sign, and yeah, so Big E is your Royal Rumble 2022 winner, and would he get his title back, or would he go after the Universal title? We'll find out in the next couple of weeks, but that ends the show. So I think I'm confident for a good score, to be fair. No one got like a 30, a lot of 40s, 50s, 60s. I think it's a very solid show. So if I get a 60, I'll be happy, or at least a 50, I'll be very happy. So let's find out what we got enough. My first kind of my own booking pay-per-view on my on my saves. Let's find out. So what do we get? We got a 53. Ouch, that's disappointing. I don't know why that got a low score. I think I don't know, maybe because some of the matches didn't click. They were a bit too long, maybe, because there's a lot of lag. I have to remember that. But 53, I think that's better than we got for our day 1, I think, or it's similar. I have to look into it. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's a solid show. I think it would have got better in real life. I think it deserved at least a 55 or 56. They were just pointing out. But yeah, so obviously we've got Bianca Belair winner. We've got Big E winner. With no title changes, that might be. It's more of a predictor Royal Rumble, but it's all about the Rumble matches in Royal Rumble. So you don't always have to have shocks. It's about if you get what you want, and fans got what you want. We've got Bianca Belair, I think, winning 2 in a row. And you got Big E get the big win, and yeah, and people should be sympathetic for Big E, so we'll find out. So I've been holding on for that one for a while, for the Big E winning it. Yeah, so don't more to say. Awesome, 53. Wish I could do better, but for my first, it's more of a learning curve. Maybe I've got to start shortening the matches. Maybe put 1 or 2 more to burn, so there's no burnout. So yeah, 53. Happy with that. Let's see what we can do on the on Raw. So let's find out. We'll find out soon enough. So yeah, so that's 53. Happy with that. So yeah, 53. A little bit disappointed, a little bit, because obviously the way this show's, the scoring was looking during that, I was actually kind of thinking we'll get like at least a 60. But obviously it's obviously I think day 1 done better. Obviously they had no story, so I think what let me down, I think, was the London match was a bit too long, and yeah, a little bit of burnout. And again, it's a thing that I should probably know from doing all the stuff with Kyle, with how it affected our shows when we did them. So I should remember that. So I might have to remember that for the next show. Maybe a little bit tinkering, but again, as I said before, it's a learning curve in this save, as well as showing my booking ability and putting some more interesting stories. Hopefully you guys enjoying it. But I'm trying to kind of figure out the game on the go. That means it's just a bit of fun. So it means I'm learning on the go. So it's going to be a little bit tricks. I know I'm getting better last 2 or 3 shows that I've booked. Definitely figured out how to kind of get the maximum best out of the shows that I've got. But yeah, 53. I'm happy. Obviously, the two winners I think should have happened in real life. That's who my picks were in real life. Obviously, I changed it when you're kind of doing fantasy, but when you're doing prediction games where scores are involved, you want to get who you think's going to win, not who you hope win. So yeah, so obviously Big E and Bianca Belair, interesting stuff. Obviously I've got some interesting plans for them. So obviously if you want to make sure you don't miss any of that, please like and subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment. I'd like to see if you agree with my choices of Royal Rumble winners. Do you think I should have kind of stuck with the plan they did in real life, or do you like my choices and are you excited to see where it's going? Let me know where you think you would like it to go. I mean, I've got an obvious plan, but we'd love to hear what you think should be a story, because I do like to hear that kind of stuff. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Obviously this week's just going to be the Royal Rumble, so that's the only video I'm going to put out. But next week we're hopefully going to go back to the usual Monday and Friday with Raw and SmackDown. Obviously in changes I will let you know on Twitter, or all my information bit on my YouTube channel I usually put in there as well. So yeah, check that out. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed this Royal Rumble. Please share it around, and yeah, I'll be back I'll be back next week on Monday 4:30 with the post, the show after Royal Rumble. Hopefully some interesting stuff will be set up there. So yeah, have an awesome rest of the week, and I'll see you on Monday. So bye everyone. Bye.